one of the things that you want to do as you approach retirement is to avoid losses, because for a different reason.
Yeah.
I mentioned that the beginner wants to avoid losses because they want to build their confidence.
Yeah.
As you're approaching retirement, you want to avoid losses because once you're retired, there's not much you can do about it. You're no longer putting money into your retirement fund. You're living off what you've accumulated. So you kind of want to reduce your risk a bit as you approach retirement. But there's a bit of a caveat here. Because one of the sort of rules of thumb was that, as you approach retirement, you would reduce the exposure to stock markets because they're quite volatile and they move up and down a bit. And you'd move into what were thought to be safer assets like bonds or cash. The problem with doing that is that, we're now in the fortunate position where, we can expect or hope to live for quite a long time in retirement. And if you're going to live for 25, 30 years in retirement, then you have to be very focused on inflation in particular. Inflation can be a real killer if you're living off a fixed income because your income doesn't rise, the cost of living does rise. And so you need to invest in a way which protects you from rising inflation. So, I would say, yes, you've got to strike a balance. You've got to try not to lose money, but you've also got to remain exposed to the assets, the investments, which are going to do best. And those tend to be stock markets.